yet, but looks like she's on, and she's going to be connecting here pretty soon. So,
well, I said if she ended up being late, this might be the best part of the whole show right here. Get to talk about bugs. That's what I like to do.
See if I can get her on here.
You got your 5 trivia questions for later?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like it is connecting. Aha! There you are.
There she is.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Jesse Green of Shapes in Nature.
Peter Clausen for Bugs in Cyberspace.
And you are on Animal Talk Live. Today we are joined with Nikki, or also known as Carpathian Wolves. And we're talking about wolves today. So Nikki, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, why wolves, all that good stuff.
So I'm going to try to make this into a short story, but I'm Nikki. I'm just a regular person who loves animals. I've always loved animals since I was a little kid. Mostly bugs when everyone else hated them. I was there to love them. So for the wolves, my Nana was always with my Grandpa Joe as far as I can remember. He's Native American. And he ended up getting a wolf dog. And I never got to meet that wolf dog, but everyone else in the family got to meet him. And it's a really sad story we won't get into, but I was basically had the opportunity to meet him taken from me. And a few years later, I found out a wolf sanctuary near me had a wolf dog. And I was like, I want to see him because I feel like it would give me some closure. I never got to meet this wolf dog. His name was Guajo. I went to Wolf Hollow and I loved it so much I basically didn't leave, and they eventually took me on as a volunteer, which is how I started working with wolves back in 2012. And the wolf dog, I did eventually get to hang out with him. His name is Bear. And that basically just opened the doors for me to start working with wolves, which eventually led me to the Wolf Mountain Nature Center. And when we first visited there through an outreach program we were trying to do at Wolf Hollow to other wolf sanctuaries who do the same things we did, we had a little moment where we got to know each other, and it was why wolves, the same question you've asked. And it was kind of one of those moments where it's like, I know people who are in their 60s and they still don't know like what they want to do with their lives or what their purpose is. And for a minute, we were all sitting in the teepee together getting to know each other, and I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, whether it pays or not, I'm here to speak for the wolf. And somehow I've found the path through a wolf dog who I never got to meet. Funny enough, later on we had wolf pups at Wolf Mountain, and one of them was named Guajo, and he was an absolute goofball. So he's still there today. So that's why wolves. So thank you to my no longer with us Native American grandfather, who got a big fluffy white ridiculous wolf dog that I never got to meet. So
that's a wonderful story. You used the term wolf dog. So is that different than a wolf? And what is a wolf?
So the difference between a wolf and a dog is that it's millions of years of domestication, from wolves learning from people and people learning from wolves, basically the native people who did coexist alongside them for many years. And so now we have the dog. And so the wolf dog thing is, people want a wolf for a pet and they don't make great pets. You can get a low content wolf dog. It's very watered down. They look very wolfy. And unfortunately what happens is there's no way to predict how much wolf behavior versus dog behavior is going to be in that animal. It's different. It could be all from the same litter. They're not all going to be the same. And wolves can be trained to a point, but they have their own rules. They're wild animals. So what happens is the wolf dogs reach sexual maturity and no longer care what their owners want from them. And then they become a lot to handle for an average person. And they end up in wolf sanctuaries like Wolf Hollow and stuff like that. So now you said, what is the wolf? So we work with mainly gray wolves. There is several subspecies of wolf. So we have the red wolf and the gray wolf. So they're the largest member of the wild dog family, and they cover giant areas of the northern hemisphere. And I think there's something like 24 subspecies of wolf, and we do have several at Wolf Mountain. And that tells you, you know, their subspecies has a lot to do with how big they are, how big they can get, and a lot of their behaviors and just where they live in general.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, so what generally is the lifespan of a wolf? You know, you said you have
I'll put up on the stairs there if you would, and then roll forward again, because that way we're both under cover.
You there?
So the lifespan of a wolf in the wild is 2 to 5 years. A lot of times they can die from injury trying to hunt, like life-threatening injury, which is, we'll get into that, I guess, a little later. But they can also die from disease, just like people. They can die from starvation, and most commonly they die from being hunted. So it takes them like 2 years to sexually mature, which is why it's so hard for them to repopulate. And in the captivity, the oldest wolf I ever knew of was 19 years old. Most commonly, they don't live that long in captivity, but they're getting vet care, they're protected inside of a space, and they're being very well cared for and fed. So the average lifespan in captivity is the same as a large dog, which would be 12 years, 10 to 12 years. So it's definitely extending their life expectancy for them to be in captivity versus the wild.
And that's mainly due to hunting, like you were talking about?
Yeah, they are endlessly slaughtered out of, you know, a lot of it is hate, a lot of it is just they're misunderstood, and a lot of it is money.
Who is slaughtering them, and who has historically?
So back in the 1900s, Teddy Roosevelt, as wonderful as he was for the environment aspect of things, actually put out like almost a kind of a law to eradicate the wolf. And there was all kinds of awful, unspeakable ways that we were killing them, and we were encouraged to do it. It was a whole like, oh, they're killing the deer, they're killing the elk, they're killing all this stuff that we need. So back then it was anybody, any average person. These days it's mostly hunters. I have nothing against ethical hunting. Most of the wolf people don't, and we actually have a lot of ethical hunters who come and support all these wolf sanctuaries and love the animal in general. So it's mostly trophy hunters, and there's actually like wolf killing derbies that are held mostly out west. They're in Vermont. There's coyote ones in Vermont. So it's all money, but I don't even know if it's really legal because they keep it under wraps. And when we blow their cover, like we, as in like the pro wolfers, when we blow their cover, they shut it down. So it's crazy, the stuff that goes on. And a lot of it is just they hate them. They're predators. They're dangerous predators, and we want them gone. So right now it's that, and unfortunately what happens now is every time we have a successful wild wolf story, for example, Journey, who actually went from Yellowstone to Oregon, we're like announcing, oh, there's this healthy wolf that's successfully going from point A to wherever B is going to be. And now we're basically telling these people where they are, and they go out and they have like these false wolf pup calls, and they'll lure them out of protected boundaries and just shoot them. So a lot of it has, now that wolf recovery is so popular, now a lot of it is just hate, and also money.
So there's a lot of, there is a lot of stigma about wolves. We had discussed at one point, you were talking about how the rates of wolves that actually attack cattle, and how that's more of a myth than actually a reality.
Yeah, so I don't want to say that they never attacked cattle and that it doesn't happen ever, but they're opportunistic hunters, And the number one cause for loss of cattle is exposure. I saw it myself in Zion. These animals are being forced to live in an environment where it's excruciatingly hot with no shade all day, and then it's freezing at night. And that's even like a lot for me to handle. You know, when I have clothing that I can remove or add to deal with it, they don't. So they're dying from exposure, and the wolf finds it. You know, same thing with you see a bison out in the wild, you know the wolf packs are going to come in and scavenge off of it. It's safe. They're not going to get hurt hunting that meal because it's already dead. So basically what's happening is these people who have their cattle, they see the wolves eating the cattle that probably either was on its way out or already had died previously to being found by the wolf. And that they're like, that's it. Every wolf in the area that's found is guilty, and then you just go shoot them. And the thing is, it's like the government has like this blind trust system where it's like, okay, well, you saw them here and they did this, okay, cool, and then they all are in it together, and everyone makes money. A dead wolf makes people money, and protecting the wolf costs money. So cattle, I don't even think wolves are in the top 10 reasons of actual loss. For a wolf pack to try to take down a cow, first of all, it's not even that high quality meat for a wolf. They would prefer small, easy food that's more abundant in what they need. They're not stupid.
You talk about the wolf pack and pack size. How many wolves are in a pack, and what's their social structure like?
So in Yellowstone, it's been seen that the packs can get quite large, but that's because they're essentially trapped in the park because of the borders, and you know, they've obviously figured out that danger lies right outside the border, the imaginary border that they don't know where it actually is. So they're kind of stuck in that same area, and so they kind of are breeding a lot, and there's big giant packs of like 20 wolves, and now there's inter-pack disputes. So typically for a successful pack to thrive for a long period of time, it really isn't more than like 5 to 10 wolves. Even 10 is kind of a lot. It's usually always breeding pair are the only ones who breed. That's it. And then there's like offspring. So it could be offspring from several years back. Basically, you can stay home, but if you want to have your own kids and start your own family, then you have to go and you do that. You can't have kids
That's
here.
the rule at my house too.
Yeah. So a lot of times most wolves want to be, they're called dispersers. They want to leave and start their own family. They don't like mom and dad's rules, because when mom and dad make the rules, now all these older wolves are basically aunties, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas, and they're responsible for teaching the wolf pups all they need to know, babysitting, all that stuff, while parents are out hunting and trying to feed the family. And a lot of wolves don't want to do that. They just want to go have fun, and start their own family with their own rules. So that's why it's not common to find a big pack, because most wolves want to live their own kind of life. And once there's inner pack dominance between too many wolves, and they start fighting and trying to kill each other, that's when someone's got to leave, and they usually do on their own. That's what makes having them in captivity really hard, especially with female wolves. It's hard. Usually the most success we've had with wolves in captivity is no more than like 2 or 3 wolves in an enclosure and 1 female. The females don't play nice, so
yeah, that's how our wolves were at the Oregon Zoo. They did not get along.
yeah, I mean,
before we get into captivity, actually, I do want to talk about that. I do want to have one more question about wolves in general. Yeah. Earlier, you were talking about seasonal behaviors, how it's really hot during the day, it's really cold at night. So how do gray wolves fare in weather? We kind of talked about how they have a very thick coat. Obviously, in heat, they would be very hot.
So they're double coated. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, because not calling anybody out, but a lot of people like to shave their double coated dogs, and it actually defeats the purpose. So the double coat is there to keep them warm in winter and cool in summer. So although wolves can tolerate warm weather, they really prefer not to. Very low energy, middle of summer. They look very awkward. They lose all their coat. They're still going through shedding. and they spend most of their time resting. In the winter, these guys can withstand temperatures as cold as -50 degrees. And, you know, a lot of these animals are living in the Arctic, and they live outside. So they are designed to withstand those temperatures because that's where they belong. And it was studied that they start to get a little uncomfortable around -50. So that's the best time to see them in captivity because they're out, they're about, they're excited, they're playing, they have all this saved up energy, they just want to let it go. I mean, I kind of act like that. In the summer, I'm like a slug, and then in the winter, I'm like, you know, all over the place. So they're meant.
Do they hibernate?
They don't hibernate.
Do wolves hibernate?
No. Sometimes they, you know, they're like crepuscular. So they will come out, you know, as the sun's going down, and they'll be active more towards dawn. They pretty much go somewhere and hide or rest most of the day, like midday. And then they'll be very active at night if there's a lot of light provided, like from the moon. But basically it's safer, and food is more out and about and abundant at dusk and dawn, so they're crepuscular. And they're active all year. Sometimes they can be on foot traveling to a new territory for weeks. So they're very nomadic also.
That is interesting. That is, yeah. Now gray wolves, they're pretty much designed to survive in the snow, right? I mean, even their body structure is meant for plowing through snow if they need to. Their paws are a certain size just to get through snow and whatnot. So obviously, getting back into them in captivity, a lot of times these animals are put in areas like if they're in Arizona or certain places that have a lot of heat. How do they fare? I mean, generally, are they having to be kept indoors? I mean, or is it?
I mean, there's even wolves who live in warmer climates. I think they're just more adapted and accustomed to it. They're designed to be snow animals. You know, you think about like how a husky is designed, a wolf is designed the same way. So it's like they have a keel chest, really lanky, long legs, and they have like snowshoe-like paws with webs in between. You know, that's for traveling in incredible amounts of snow in like really long distances, miles and miles. So although they're built for that, it's not to say that they couldn't adapt. I mean, we have coyotes here in Massachusetts, and they're designed the same way for pretty much the same reasons. And they do okay in the summertime. It's just the activity is much less, which is kind of funny now that I'm saying it out loud. You know, spring comes around and everyone's like, "Oh, I saw a coyote," and it's like they're actually less active right now. You're just noticing because you're outside more than you were during the winter. Like so. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. Right.
So you're noticing.
So we hear them, and I hear coyotes. I don't know that I've ever heard a wolf in the wild, but they're famous for their howl. And as I understand it, I think you said in our pre-interview the other day that they have dialects.
Yeah, it's so cool. So both wolves and coyotes have several dialects. And so, like I said earlier, most of the time packs are not very big, especially with coyotes. You know, usually it's 2, maybe 4 coyotes. With wolves, let's say for argument's sake, there's 6 to 8 wolves, and, you know, let's say there are some yearling pups in there who are learning how to howl. Don't sound very intimidating. So they have different dialects because they want, you know, everyone thinks they're howling because they made a kill. You know, if you just made a sweet kill and you're like, yeah, we haven't eaten in 2 weeks, why would you announce that to the whole forest? You wouldn't. So they're doing that, you know, to tell outsiders, this is occupied. Do not come here because there's lots of us and you'll be in big trouble, even though there's not. So it's a front. They're just trying to sound bigger, tougher, more intimidating because they don't want trouble. They don't want to fight. They don't want conflict because that leads to wasting energy they need to hunt and survive and getting injuries that will ultimately kill them. So
It
they would
works.
prefer,
Yeah.
yeah, they prefer to stay away from each other. So they'll go back and forth. So when I stay at Wolf Mountain, you can hear the wild coyote family over the hill, and they'll howl and howl and howl. And our wolves, like, they seem to know that they're just like, you can't get in here. There's fences. But eventually, if the coyotes keep it up, the whole facility of wolves, we have 15 wolves, 4 coyotes, and 6 Arctic foxes. The whole center starts howling back, and then the coyotes just like, okay, never mind. We were just checking if you're still there, and then you don't hear anything.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is interesting. When we have at the zoo, when we have to have service dogs on the grounds, some of the dogs can't be around some of the animals for that reason. They especially the wolves, though, they did not like seeing other dogs around when they were out.
So it's interesting you bring that up because, we have our annual fundraiser. It's going to be obviously different this year because of COVID, but we will have the sled dogs come and the police canines come as part of like programs you can see during this event that we usually have. And the wolves do not like it at all. They do not like other dogs. It gets them all amped up. So that's why we always say, like, don't come to Wolf Mountain for your first time at the special event, because this is not what their normal behavior is. It's just, big giant tents with people under them is scary, and so is the huskies in the yard. So, it amps them up for sure. And then it takes them a few days to just be like, all right, everyone's gone. We did our job. We scared them away. So, definitely alters their behavior.
So speaking of the Wolf Mountain Nature Center, let's talk about that a lot more. We didn't really go into that. You volunteered there, right? But who kind of started this? How long has it been around, and where is it exactly? Because I know that you said there was a Wolf Mountain Sanctuary in California as well. So
yeah, people get them confused a lot. So there's Wolf Mountain Sanctuary in California. I know very little about them. The Wolf Mountain Nature Center is in Smyrna, New York, which is like an hour south of Syracuse, upstate New York, middle of nowhere, absolutely beautiful. Will Pryor is the curator. He's actually originally from Boston, which is funny, small world. But he always dreamed of wolves, and he thought, the total genocide on the wolf throughout hundreds of years was awful, and it really upset him, and he wanted to do something about it. So he basically had this like life-changing moment where like he was sitting at a red light, the light turned green, and he didn't go for whatever reason. I think he said, must have been thinking about wolves or something, and he went to go, and I think it was like an 18-wheeler bombed through the red light and would have killed him if he had gone when he was supposed to. And he took that as a sign, like, all right, that was my sign. I'm going to open a wolf sanctuary, and I'm going to teach people about why wolves are important. So the Wolf Mountain Nature Center, I think, is on its 14th or 15th year. I should probably know. But so it's a nonprofit organization. They're regulated and inspected by the DEC and the USDA, but they get no government help, and they're totally run on donations and gift shop sales and ticket sales for people coming. So their like mission statement is that they want to they dedicate what they do to the spirit of the wolf, past, present, and future. And there's currently several states that don't have any protections on wolves under the Endangered Species Act. And there's like a recommendation to delist them completely because their numbers have slightly recovered. So in the 1900s, they were almost extinct. And then the Endangered Species Act came around in 1966, and it's done wonders on keeping them safe. Pam just commented and said 14th year. I knew it was somewhere around. So Pam and Will might as well be married, but she's wonderful. Thank you, Pam. So they have educational programs with our coyotes, our foxes, and our wolves. And their goal is to provide understanding about the wolf's role in the wild, for balance, and they are a nature center. So they also try to focus on using that. They're all solar panel powered, and we do a lot. Like technically, my role for a while was the ecology educator. And assistant animal caretaker. So I would also talk about basic ecology with the wolves, and we have like a little nature walk. So we would talk about the trees and how everything plays a role. So they want to be like a whole, all around, from, you know, grass to wolves nature center. Yeah, and also current issues with like climate change and stuff like that. So it's been really cool because they're in the country, so we get an interesting mix of people. And one of my favorite stories that Will has ever told me was he once had a hunter come, and usually out there it's, you know, not really a positive thing, but the hunter had a lot of questions, and you know, he's a coyote hunter. There's a lot of them out in upstate New York. And I can't remember if he said the guy came back. I think he did come back for another presentation a little bit later. And he said that after coming and seeing this center and talking to Will, that he, you know, saw another coyote like through the crosshairs of his gun and chose not to shoot it and instead just observed it. So that's amazing. That's why we do what we do. We're not going to change everybody's mind, but we're going to try. And so the other thing that I like to say about Wolf Mountain is, I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget it. They are giving us a place to watch how wolves behave. Their biggest enclosure is 9 acres, which, as far as I'm aware, is the largest enclosure in the United States, could be in the world. I don't know about wolf sanctuaries in other countries, but it gives us the opportunity to see what they're like together in the wild, and what they might do. Because if you think about it, when we observe wildlife, we're only observing 1% of their life. Imagine if someone observed us for 1% of our life. They're not going to see everything that we do and how we do it. So having them in captivity helps us to learn more about their behaviors. And just like people, they're all different. They all have different they all give us different obstacles in terms of how to handle them. Some are dominant, some are not. Some don't realize they're a wolf, and some, you know, are very testy. So it's fascinating. It's like a yoga. It's like there is no, we've learned it all. There's nothing else. We're always going to be learning about them, no matter how. We're going to be studying them for a million years, and we're still not going to know everything there is to know. So it's pretty cool. They're like the coolest animal.
The work that the Nature Center does, Wolf Mountain Nature Center does, sounds really wonderful. And your passion and support for them is to, where can people go to donate to the center? A website?
I think they do have not a GoFundMe, or maybe they have like a donation area through their PayPal. It's on their website. It's just the wolfmountainnaturecenter.com. But what we really want is for you to visit. We just want you to come see our wolves. Wolf Mountain Nature Center is, Pam is on it, answering questions on your comments.
Yeah. Thank you, Pam.
If she writes the website address down there, we'll say it out loud here.
Awesome. She probably will. So
I think it's wolfmountainnatureny.com or something like that.
Yeah. I just say Wolf Mountain Nature Center in Google and click the website, so that's why I don't know if I heart.
The California one came up first when I did that, and so I had to kind of look around a little bit to find the one that was specific.
Probably where
So you can donate through the website, but I think Will, this is my opinion. He never said it. So there it is.
There it is. wolfmountainnaturecenter.org.
Okay. So in my opinion, I think what Will wants is not for people to just dump money into their PayPal donations. I think he wants them to come visit. He wants you to see these animals. One thing he says on Howl Nights is like, you know, we do these tours. We offer all these different events, and one of them is Howl Night. So you come for Howl Night, you get a quick little tour of our 65-acre sanctuary, and he says this amazing thing like, once, hundreds of years ago, wolves were walking through here, wild ones, because they belong in New York, in Massachusetts. They used to be there, and they were wiped clean. And it like gives me chills to stand on the other side of a fence from our wolves and think that, you know, a wolf was probably standing where I am, and just how different things were and how more balanced things were when that was true, like when they were here. So our wolves are there to show you that they're not these big scary monsters. You know, what basically started this is Red Riding Hood. The wolf in that story is supposed to be a stranger, and people took it literally, and it just, then the people ran with that, you know, big bad wolf.
I mean, there's a lot of stigma on wolves, you know, werewolves, and, you know, wolves
Yeah.
are so related to the darkness and the moon, you know, and all this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
none of it's really true. But
They used to be worshipped and respected and looked after as teachers by the native people, and they were such a huge thing, you know. They taught us so much, and we appreciated them for that. And somewhere it just turned for the worst, and now they're like demonized, and it's like, I don't know about you, but I think people are way worse. You know, 1 out of 10 people is probably a lot worse than 1 out of 10 wolves. I've never met a wolf that I was afraid of. You know, I didn't think anything bad. I said this the other day. The worst thing that's happened to me inside a wolf enclosure is I got stung by a bee. So
those bees, you can't trust them.
Hey.
I did.
No, we love our bees.
I did. I mean, I love them too. I wasn't mad about it. I did get to watch the Lamar Valley Wolves share a bison carcass with a grizzly, and it was heartbreaking and inspiring at the same time, because, you know, here I am standing in Lamar Valley, a place I thought wasn't real, only on social media. It was make pretend. I never thought I'd ever get there. And I'm here, I'm watching this wolf family with pups share a bison carcass with a grizzly mother and her cubs. And the fact that they can coexist without destroying each other, they're sharing a meal. These are animals who are killing themselves to survive and teach their young how to survive. You know, it's life or death all the time, every day for both of those animals. And here they are sharing a bison carcass. They're kind of sort of trying to scare each other away, but then they're letting each other take a piece. They're coexisting. And here we are, people watching them, and half of us would be in a brawl over something stupid. And it was like,
Right.
you know, it just goes to show they have it figured out, we don't, and there's nothing to be scared of. If those wolves were here to hurt us, they would have saw all 300 people with their cameras and came right after us and been like, get out of our house. They didn't care. They didn't care that we were there.
Even wolves adapting. You have the wolves of salmon, right? That's up in the British Columbia, and they've learned how to basically catch fish. That's incredible. I mean, wolves aren't known to do that.
Wolves who are catching fish, like, blow my mind, because that's
Isn't
like
that amazing?
Yeah, like,
it's
again,
incredible.
I'm saying it's not a normal thing because you know, that's something we're learning that they could do. Maybe they always knew how to do that, and we just didn't know because we're only observing a small amount of their time. But yeah, there's those pictures, like you said, with the grizzly and the wolf both catching fish together. It's like the most adorable thing ever, and it speaks volumes, and we could learn from it, you know, like we used to thousands of years ago. Like, we would see that situation and be like, I'm gonna sit here and observe and learn about this. Now if a hiker came upon that, most likely they would think their life was in danger. And it's like, they're doing their thing, you know, walk by, no one cares. So,
well, let's see. We got about 10 minutes left for this viewing, but we are going to still do trivia after this, so we're going to have to jump out of this live and do trivia then. But let's take 10 more minutes and do some Q&A. Let our viewers ask you a few questions about the wolves, maybe about the Nature Center, I definitely want to talk to you about maybe doing a shirt design with wolves and money going towards the nature center. So we'll have to hook up and
That would be
talk about
amazing.
that. So yeah, it'll be fun. I got to draw more wolves. I can't have the lone wolf. I got to do more than one. So
Together.
yes.
They're social
But
animals. You know that?
I do know that, actually, believe it or not. Even though the wolves at the zoo, I never thought were at all. They were like the most antisocial dogs or wolves I've ever seen in my life. So anyway, if any of you guys have questions down there, throw out some questions. We are willing to answer them. We got about 8 minutes or so, and stick around. We will do a trivia like usual, but we're gonna have to do that on another live. We'll jump out of this live and do it on the other one. So go for it, guys. Answer some questions. You got a question?
Well, I was just wondering, do you guys do something special for Halloween there at the nature center?
Yeah. So
Seems like it would be a really cool place to spend the evening.
Right.
Yeah. So normally, we don't do it on Halloween, but we have like a pumpkin festival themed. That's our usual annual fundraiser. Pam is asking me, how do I get to go in with the wolves? And it makes me laugh because that's what everyone asks. So we have our annual fundraiser where it's based on enrichment. So we do it for Christmas, Halloween. We also do one for May. It's like the watermelon festival. So we basically carve the pumpkins, fill them full of goodies, guts and all that good stuff, and we put them in the enclosure, and the wolves have to open them up. And same thing with the presents. Most of the wolves are scared of the boxes. I don't know what the deal is there, but it gives them, when we feed them, they don't have to work for their food like they do in the wild. So it gives their brain exercise to figure out how to get in the box or get in the pumpkin, and it's this big celebration. So that's what we do for Halloween. So that's actually happening the 11th, I think. Sunday the 11th it's going to be a little different, like I said, because of COVID, but we do try to have those several times a year where we have special holiday celebrations.
Nice. Looks like Daniel is asking, are huskies closest related to wolves?
So I actually researched this before this interview because as far as I knew, it was the collie. And apparently things have changed because it's actually, I'm thinking like Lassie, but it's actually the border collie is the closest genetically related to wolves.
Really?
And they have most wolfy behavior. Yeah, their herding behavior and just their activeness and their working dogs, it's like a wolf through and through. So that's the number one. Wow. But huskies are in the top 5.
Yeah, husky, I mean, yeah, definitely. I like what you said when we were talking earlier about how if someone's wolf dog has blue eyes, it's not a wolf.
Someone tells you that they have a wolf and it has blue eyes, it's a low content wolf dog. Because I only knew of one wolf that had blue eyes. He lived at Wolf Park, which are like the wolf sanctuary pioneers of the world. And he had a birth defect that actually was the reason he had blue eyes. And his lifespan was not very long because of the defect. So Their eyes are amber or gold, usually. Wow. Yeah.
Well, Kim actually is asking, what's the difference between a red wolf and a gray wolf?
So I don't know very much about the red wolf. I know that they're a lot smaller and their behaviors are definitely different, and where they live is different. But they, I think, are the ones who they're struggling even worse than the gray wolf. And although the gray wolf needs lots of help, I think the red wolf needs the most help. I would love to work in red wolf recovery because they're like such strange and special type of wolf, and their numbers are horrendously low. Like we might see them go extinct, in our lifetime. So
we were talking about their genetics, how they're so impure a lot now, right? Is that the red wolf?
They're kind of like the coy wolf, where the coy wolf is coyotes mixed with wild dog and some wolf, but it's basically the eastern coyote. But the red wolf is doing the same thing with coyotes, and it's just a way that they're figuring out how to adapt. They probably know they're in trouble. They're very smart, and so what better way to adapt than team up? So, but because they are mixing with coyotes, even in the littlest bit, they won't allow any protections on them because they're not 100% pure red wolf, which is ridiculous. You need to make a compromise. Is we gotta, or we'll, we gotta save them regardless if they're pure, because then there will be no more.
Absolutely. And Pam here is saying, and Nikki dresses up as a very hot Red Riding Hood. Oh man, good to know.
Yeah, she makes it. It just happened one year. She was like, "Do you just want to be Red Riding Hood this year?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I just put on the costume, and I was like, "Oh, great." So it's funny. They just learned I do all this heavy duty work at the haunt I work at, and they're like, "You can use tools, and we've been dressing you as Red Riding Hood all this time." And I'm like, "It's your idea to do that." So, but they love it. But yeah, ridiculous. Oh, she had asked me, how do you get to go in with the wolves? So the way that it worked where I started, we had to volunteer for a certain amount of time, and wolves take different people differently. So 3 months is a good amount of time to get accustomed to them. You do chores around them. You go between the buffer, which is between the 2 fences, let them smell your hands, kind of get used to their behaviors and do your homework and just show your dedication. We get so many people who just want to be on Instagram with wolves, and they don't really care about the mission, and they just want to look cool. We don't want that. So we make you work for it. And so this picture here is my first time.
I was going to say, what is that exactly? What is that?
This is me and Weeble. He was the alpha male at Wolf Hollow, and he was the first wolf I ever met or ever kissed, and that is it happening right there. And I didn't volunteer. I was just so in love, and I wanted to support them so much that I was visiting every weekend. I was writing about them on Facebook. I was doing my research, and I was just so devastated at I didn't know any of this stuff about wolves and how bad it was. And when I found out, I was like, oh my God, we have to do something. So they were like, we don't know how to thank you for everything you've done. So you're going to meet some wolves today, because I didn't know at the time, but they were surprising me and they were taking me on board. I didn't know that yet. So this is that moment. And my auntie was there. She is the reason I'm so crazy about animals, and she was there to see it happen. But my mom was like, why did you let her do that? This is crazy. She thinks I'm out of my mind. So they're total opposites. But luckily, auntie babysat me a lot. So I'm just like her. So she made this for me. They both did for my birthday. And I've actually never used it until now because I was afraid to ruin it. So it's very special.
Well, I'm very honored.
Yeah, so this picture is where it all started. It's pretty cool.
There is one last question, but you know what? We're running out of time. So if you want to real quick just say, where do wolves come from? I guess it depends on the wolf. But we have about a minute left.
So wolves, it depends. Like you said, it depends on where, but they should be all over the United States. And they've been around millions of years. That's like saying, where do cats come from? Big cats for millions of years. Yeah. They come from a magical place.
Mommy and daddy wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, let's I'm going to cut short here so we can kind of end it. Everyone, if you guys want to get in on trivia, I'm going to be doing trivia immediately after this. Carpathian Wolves will be joining us on that. We have 15 questions. Peter, so what's your favorite wolf? The wolf spider?
Don't know my next trivia question.
Right.
It's a good thing I wrote 6.
Right.
I'm not joking.
I like those 8-legged wolves.
Twice the wolf.
I know.
Any mammal.
Welcome back. Man, it's been a long time. It's been ages. Hey, look, you're not glitching. I can actually see you. Oh, wow.
I like that wolf spider joke. That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, everybody heard it.
Yeah. All right, so let's just take a couple seconds here. We'll get some people getting online. We'll get these trivia questions going.
Fine.
So I will start saying the rules. So there are 3. There is a first, second, and third place First place has their choice between a wolf wooden pin and a sticker of their choice, or 3 stickers. Second place has a choice between 2 stickers. Third place has a choice between 1 sticker. If there is any ties, we will go to sudden death. So you will have to battle to the death to get. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. We go crazy here, you know. So there's going to be 15 questions in all. For anyone that is seeing as they post answers, please keep in mind we are going to go by what we see on the screen. Sometimes it might look like your answer popped up first, but if we don't see it that way, that's not how it was. So I apologize ahead of time. Peter, I'm going to let you answer the first question.
All right. And you guys check out those stickers at shapesinnature.com to see what potential prizes you can choose among.
Indeed.
So a wolf's vocalization can be separated into 4 categories: whimpering, growling, howling, and what other category?
Ooh, how many points is this?
2.
2 points. All right.
I'm very impressed with that one. Wow.
He's been saving it up for weeks.
So they whimper, they growl, they howl, and there's one other thing they do. And I would argue that it's the easiest.
They use really smooth pickup lines at bars. See who? No one's barking.
That's it.
All right, spicy beans.
I didn't actually know that. Wolves bark.
Isn't that the best? I love it. Spicy beans in with 2 points. All right, you want to ask your first question? I'll go last.
Okay.
Oh, bark. Yes, it was bark for everyone that.
You said barking.
I did. Okay.
Oh. Okay. So my question is, do wolves howl at the moon?
Do wolves howl at the moon? The question is, Nikki, do you howl at the moon? That's the question.
Obviously.
Don't we all?
Spicy beans again.
Man, spicy bean. How many points do you want that to be? 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, that's an easy one. It'll do
1.
1 point.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah.
All right. My question is, what is the Latin name for the gray wolf? This is a pretty easy one, too. It's only worth 1 point. Bark at the moon. Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head all day. Bark at the moon.
Gotta listen to it.
Come on, Peter. You know who that is?
That's Black Sabbath.
There you go. Well,
Ozzy? Was it Ozzy?
It's Ozzy.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to
It's Ozzy.
Yeah. Ozzy's in.
What is the Latin name for the gray wolf, everyone?
Also the Latin name for the common dog, is it not?
Well,
Pam for the win.
there you go. Canis lupus. Pam getting 1 point.
All right, next question. 2 points. What is the common or scientific name of the one other recognized wolf species? Not Canis lupus, the gray wolf, the other recognized species.
Wow, he went deep with it.
Or common name. And Google is your friend.
Oh, they're allowed to Google?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I can't tell them not to.
Oh, Pam said it's actually Carly answering. Carly's magical. She's one of our volunteers at Wolf Mountain. She's awesome.
She's all right.
Oh, they're teaming up.
Teaming up. Actually, let me check the rules real quick. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Coyote? No. So it's another Latin name, right?
Yep. I'll give you a hint. The genus is also Canis. We're looking for a different species. Not the gray wolf, Canis lupus, but the other recognized species of wolf.
Oh my God.
Rules.
we talked about them a little bit earlier.
There are so many rules, okay? So many rules.
This is a hard question.
Google is your friend.
Google's always there.
What happens if no one gets it?
We just ask another question.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll give you about Red Wolf, but...
That was it.
But okay, well, you want to
Did
give
someone
red
say
wolf?
that?
Yeah, someone said red wolf.
Yeah, that's the answer.
All right, fair enough.
Red wolf, Canis rufus.
Canis rufus.
Rufus always means red.
Rufus.
All right.
All right, that was a
Who got that?
Ellerson.
All right.
How many points
Two.
is that? 2. Okay.
Okay, my turn.
Yep, your turn.
Okay. What is the maximum degrees below 0 that wolves are comfortable in?
Ooh.
Let's see who is listening.
Yep, we talked about this one. The coldest I've ever felt was positive 13 degrees.
And that's cold enough.
Wow.
That's the coldest weather I've ever felt in my entire life.
Oh,
Is it-
that one person got it.
Was it Allerson or
Yep.
negative 50?
Yep, that's
Yep.
it. Winner.
Oh. Is that how many points is that? 1 or 2
Um,
or 3? Either
2
one.
points. We'll do 2 points. That was a good one.
Ooh, Allerson taking the lead. Oh man. Oh, it is my turn, isn't it? All right. So, what is the average size of a wolf pack? This is worth 2 points. The average size of a wolf pack.
How do you feel when someone says the word woof instead of wolf, Nikki?
Well, I call them floofs, so I guess I can't really have an
What did
opinion
she call
on that.
Floofs.
Floofs?
Floofs.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I call Peter. I call Peter Floof.
I thought she said bloof.
5 through
Floofs.
up. Allerson getting it again. 6.
Oh man.
Man, taking the lead. All right, your turn, Peter.
All right.
I'll
We're
get a
gonna do
question
2 points on this one also. Humans have 5 million scent cells. To the nearest 100, how many do wolves have, allowing them to smell other animals up to 1 mile away? To the nearest 100, how many scent cells do wolves have?
Is this 3 points?
These questions are too hard.
Yeah, but if you know your hundreds, you can guess.
I'm very impressed.
200 million.
What did they
lot.
say?
200 million.
That's the answer.
200. Allerson again. My God, is that 2
They
or 3
are
points?
very
2
good
points.
at Google.
Man. All
Fastest
right, your
person
go,
to Google
pal.
wins.
All right, I don't know if this one's a fair question because we didn't touch on food very much,
Oh, it's fair.
but
It's fair.
I'm gonna go with it. What
Life's
is a
not
wolf's?
fair.
Let's do in captivity. What is a wolf's favorite snack?
Ooh, interesting.
Do you guys know the answer? It's not on Google.
What is a wolf's?
A wolf's favorite snack.
Nope. It's something that we eat on. It's a topping on a lot of our foods.
I was going to guess some
What,
kind of
pepperoni?
dog food, but like beef jerky. That was going to be my guess.
I'm being
Doritos.
told to eat
It's definitely Doritos. Grandma or Cheez-Its. Yeah, you get a point for creativity on that one. Capers.
Bacon bits.
Disobedient children.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Mayo.
Oh, got it.
Mayo.
Cheese.
Yeah, the American wolf loves mayo. Yes.
He got it. It's cheese.
Cheese. Who got it? Who got it?
I don't know.
Let's. Akio Komar.
I'm gonna annihilate that.
She's in there.
Yeah.
That's Courtney.
We can see her. Oh, she's jumping up and down with glee.
How many points is that? 2 or 3?
Pam said, "I'll do 2 because I didn't touch on that topic." So, you know what? Let's do 3. Why not? Who cares?
All right, why not? Number 3. Are male gray wolves larger than female gray wolves? Are male gray wolves larger than female? Yes or no question. And this is
The suspense.
I know. It's killing me. Killing
Yeah,
me.
me too.
Right. Spicy beans. There you are.
I knew it was gonna be. You should just give all the questions to that
I know,
person.
right? The males are larger. Which part? We'll save that for a topic on Animal Talk After Dark. We'll see.
Okay, I got another really easy one for you. Wolves were the first animals to be placed on the U.S. Endangered Species Act list in 1973. True or false?
How many points is
I
that?
should have come up with better questions.
True or false?
Damn.
Wolves were the first animals to be placed on the U.S. Endangered Species Act list.
True.
That's correct.
That is correct. Outdoor girl, you got it.
Yay.
Good job, Sadie.
By the way, we are definitely getting Outdoor Girl on here at some point. She is amazing.
I can't wait.
That's going to
so
be
excited
so
about
much
that.
fun. I know.
Can't wait.
We got to plan it. All right.
Okay. Are we still going?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't touch on this either.
3 points.
But why does a wolf scent roll?
Oh, yeah. Why does a
I
wolf
forgot.
central?
I had everything organized so nicely and I just steamrolled through that interview. Whatever, it's fine.
We could have done 2 hours.
We could have done 2 hours. It's true.
It's not over yet.
I know.
Why does a wolf central?
That sounds like a dessert. I don't know why.
So if it helps anyone, dogs do it too. It's a watered down wolf trait. So think
You
about
looking at the answers on these?
So they can hide from prey is a good guess, but that's not it.
What about
It's
info
too-
back to the pack? Communication?
Oh my god. It's I don't know. It is a form of communication. Oh, so outdoor girl to bring it back to the pack. Yep, that's it. They have an
Is that the
important.
winner? I
Yep.
feel like actually Alurison also got that. Said info back to the pack up there at the top. So
Yeah,
I'm going to give that. I'll give that to both. How many points? How many points is that? How many points is that? 2?
We'll do
3?
2. Yeah.
2. All right.
Yeah.
All righty. This is a 3-point question. What is, and we went over this, what is the main reason gray wolves have a narrow chest? What is the main reason gray wolves have a narrow chest? Oh, yeah, I gave it to Alurison as well. You're good. For the last question. Snow movement. All right. There you go. Alurison, yet again, just wreaking havoc over here. Or they. All right.
All right. 2-point question. What is the name for the giant prehistoric wolves that hunted prey as large as woolly mammoths?
I like that question.
My.
I like that question.
I do too. It was my favorite.
Candace Humongous.
That's your favorite question?
Except for the next one.
Easy to perform CPR. Bank robbing.
Bank robbing.
You know, those wolves. It's those wolves in Detroit. Dire wolf.
That's right.
There you go. Actually, Pam got that one. Is that 3 points?
2.
The 2?
So Pam just said we have a skull of a dire wolf at Wolf Mountain.
Yeah, we'll have to get that on because I want to see that. Well,
the reference I looked up said that they were the size of ponies, but I don't know what a pony looks like in terms of size. It's like a small horse.
What a pony. Peter's never been outside, you see. So
What's actually really cool is when they're doing collaring, like they dart collared wolves to just collect information from their collars and stuff. They darted a male wolf, black phased, who was 210 pounds, which is technically dire wolf weight. So.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Amazing. That is amazing. Well, your question is next.
Okay. What is the average bite force of a wolf? So think of they can break deer bones in half and eat the bone marrow with that bite force.
What terms of measurement are we using here?
PSI. Let's go
Pounds
with
per
that.
square inch?
Yeah.
Pounds
Per square inch. Spicy beans got it on my end.
Oh,
wow.
spicy
Okay.
beans. How many points was that? 1 Dodge
I'll do
Ram. Sorry.
Who said that?
Daniel. How many points was that?
I'll do 3 for that
3
one.
for that. Oh, man.
435 horsepower.
Yeah, 1 gram.
She's saying that she looked it up, but she still learned, so that's fine.
Hey, no worries. No worries, Spicy Beans. Google is our friend. That's Peter's motto right there. At least that's what he says. Last point, or last question from me. Or no, actually, it's your go first. Or am I going? I'm going.
So you're going.
So my last question is worth 2 points. What is a wolf's social unit known as? We've talked about it. It's a pretty easy question. What is a wolf's social unit known as?
You make these questions sound harder than they are.
You kind of have to, you know?
Terminology.
Attack, Spicy Beans. Getting in there again.
Do we just
Oh,
qualify
man,
her?
we actually do not have a sudden death. We don't have any sudden death this time.
Darn it, because I was saving my favorite question for last.
All right, let's do it. Let's throw it out there.
One more?
One more. Why not?
Okay. All right. Lycos is Greek for wolf. Lycosidae is the name for what family of animals? Lycosidae. Lycosidae. You know
I don't
it?
even know the answer.
Good. Excellent.
Good. Google it.
You do know some things about wolves that I don't.
By the way, I'm really realizing that I need to get a blanket made of me with like some cockroaches or something.
I support that. To say
Wolf
that
spider.
That's right.
Wolf spider. Outdoor Pro got it.
Come
Good
on.
job, Sadie.
All right. I'll make that 2 points. Well,
That was 3 points.
that was 3 points.
That was 3 points. That was 4 points.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, there is no sudden death still. So,
Sad.
Spicy Beans. Or no, actually, Alurison, you got first place. So make sure to shoot me a message. Send me if you want the wolf pin, the wooden wolf pin, and a sticker, or if you just want 3 stickers of your choice, send me a message letting me know which is what you want. Second place is Spicy Beans. You got in second place. Let me know what 2 stickers you want. And, of course, Outdoor Girl, you can let me know what sticker you want, and I will, of course, send it to you. But you have a lot of stickers, so. I'll send you the pin. How about that? I'll send you the pin, Outdoor Girl. How about that? All right, that was fun. Well, do you?
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much good here. I think we're done. Again, everyone, thank you very much. This will go on our podcast, by the way. It's through Podbean, Shapes in Nature podcast. We are going to put it up there. We are also going to have it up on our YouTube channel, on the Shapes in Nature YouTube channel. Does the Wolf Mountain Nature Center have a YouTube by chance?
I don't. Not yet. I mean,
No.
the signal is so limited there that Pam can't really do much internet-wise until she goes to town. But she does. We do have Facebook, the website, and I do their Instagram.
Right. Okay. And we will set up some links after this. We will set up some links in the comments of this live that we just did. So we'll make sure you have that all connected.
I forgot.
So make sure to follow Carpathian Wolves. Give her a follow. Obviously, she's amazing. We're definitely going to have to do this again. Yeah.
Great to meet you, Nikki, and thanks so much for teaching us about wolves.
Oh,
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it. I'm on the edge of my seat.
On the edge at all times. All right, guys. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining. Until next week, we're going to talk about sharks next week.
Oh, those are my favorite too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to join then.
I will.
All right. Bye, guys.